Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Mighty Stream, and today is July the 7th. I'm going to do your Just for Today in a meditation. I hope you're having a beautiful morning. I want that for you. I want for you to have a beautiful morning. Okay, let's get into this meditation. Okay, I have the right date up for you now. Apologize for that. Bear with me today. I've been at the hospital all the last 8 hours with my husband, so bear with me. Okay, this is entitled God in Each Other. One aspect of our spiritual awakening comes through the new understanding of our higher power that we developed by sharing another addict's recovery. That comes from our basic text, page 52. We've heard it said that we often see God most clearly in one another. We see the truth of this when we practice our 12th step. When we carry the recovery message to another addict, we sense the presence of a power greater than ourselves. And as we watch the message take hold, we realize something else. It's the message that brings recovery, not the messenger. A higher power, not our own power, is the source of the change that begins when we carry the message to a still suffering addict. As the message does its work, transforming the life of one another, transforming the life of another addict, we see a higher power in action. We watch as acceptance and hope replace denial and despair. Before our very eyes, the first traces of honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness begin to appear. Something's happening inside this person, something bigger and more powerful than either of us. We're watching the God we've come to understand at work in someone else's life. We see the higher power in them, and we know with greater certainty than ever that this higher power is in us too, as the force driving our recovery. Just for today, as I carry the message of recovery to other addicts, I will try to pay attention to the power behind the message. Today, as I watch other addicts recover, I will try to recognize the God in them so I can better recognize the God in myself. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the wee version of Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference just for today. Please and thank you. God in each other. This is a very beautiful topic. It's one that I can relate to. At times when I might be difficult on myself, hard on myself, or just not feeling that I'm where I want to be in relationship to God in my 11th step, a lot of times what will happen is that for whatever reason, something will occur that has absolutely nothing to do with me, but pulls on my heartstrings, pulls on my level of responsibility and goodwill towards humanity. And before I know it, I am involved or encountering an individual that I may know a lot about, but more than likely is a stranger to me. And in that interaction, whatever the cause is, whatever the purpose of it is, in that interaction, they end up saying something or doing something that sort of makes me wonder, if this is a real encounter, how could they possibly know to say that? We've never talked about it. How can they possibly know that I need that or need to hear that in this moment? And the result of that is my faith in God is built up further, or it may be restored, but I am able to see the God in them. And I am able to see how my God has worked through them. And it births a spirit of gratitude. A lot of times we are looking for those burning bush type answers from God, and they're not coming that way. And because they're not coming with all of those dynamics, we miss it. And we don't ever have to miss the God of our own. We don't ever have to miss God moving on our behalf. We don't have to, but it does require humility. It does require being able to say, I wonder if that individual, even though I judge their exterior, I wonder, was God working for my behalf, on my behalf, through them? It seems like it. And a lot of times, if it seems like it, it definitely is the case. It's beautiful when other people say, I just, I know your name and your personality, but I just don't see that. I see God. Whenever I encounter you, I feel closer to God because of my interaction with you. Do people say that about you? Maybe you don't want them to. But I sort of like the feeling of people not seeing my humanity, people seeing what my gratitude and love for God is bringing, and they see that. I like that. It's almost anonymous within itself. I like that. Allows me to do more with less pressure. It's good for me. So, is it okay for people to see the God in you? Is it okay for some of those good deeds that you've done for you to remain nameless while doing them? Is it okay? And more than likely, because I believe water seeks its own level. So by operating where I am able to see God in others, I'm also able to see God in myself. And as I continue to value God in other people, my God in other people, and my God's ability to move on behalf of other people, work through other people. I don't have to have my hands in everything. I don't say I don't have to have my hands in anything. I definitely have to do that, but I don't have to have my hands in every situation. When I'm able to see God work through other people, it causes me to have a feeling of camaraderie, partnership, fellowship. I'm not in this alone. I don't have to carry that by myself. Someone else is able to help with that. Today, I want you to remember that when we're carrying the message to other addicts, try to pay attention to the power of the message that is being carried, not the messenger. The messenger, right, is the vehicle in which our God is using, but it's the message that is coming from that individual. And when you value that, just like I said earlier, when you begin to value that, you will begin to value how God also uses your message. And your message could be words, it could be a share, it could be an act, a deed, an act of kindness. Because we're productive members of society. Today we are. So our message can sound or look differently from day to day, but the essence of it is goodwill, service to others as God would lead us to do in the spirit of step 11, that conscious contact through prayer and meditation, where we're seeking the knowledge of God's will for us individually and the strength, the power to carry that out. You know, sometimes we overcomplicate things, but this is not one of those things. This is allowing your true essence to come forward and be of service to others and carrying a clear NA message. I know you can do it. I know you've done it, or you wouldn't be here. I believe you have already experienced this. So I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank everyone that has added their subscriptions. I would like to see the likes go up a little bit more, at least to be close to the level of views for the podcast. So have some clear goals, and I'll share those with you. And I and my family invite everyone's prayers for us as we pass through just trying to find out how we can improve my husband's health. So I appreciate that from everyone. And I will be talking to you tomorrow. In the meantime, I want for you to have a beautiful day on purpose. I intend to. Even still through this, I intend to have a beautiful day on purpose.